There you go.
Hey all, Daniel Agapito here for Metal Rules, and today I have the honor to be speaking here with Thomas from Mork, one of the standout black metal bands of this new generation. They just released their seventh album, Civ, which came out this past 20th. So how are you, Thomas?
Hey man, thank you so much for the nice words. I'm doing really great. This is the first few days after release, as you mentioned, and the album came out last Friday, and then we had our release show in Norway, in Oslo. Now, just 2 nights ago in Oslo, which was fucking killer. We we had the pleasure and honor of having I don't know if you heard about the Norwegian black metal band Tulus.
Mhm.
They were opening our show, and those are veterans in the scene over here, and a lot of we're humble that they wanted to join us that evening, and a lot of people showed up, and good times. Just now the reviews are coming in, and they are coming in strong, and you can never expect anything like that. You just have to release an album and just see how it goes.
Yeah. The album's incredible. My review will be out on Metal Rules on the 1st. I don't know exactly when this interview is going to be published, but it's probably already up on the website. Go check that out if you haven't yet. So let's start, shall we?
Yeah.
First off, Civ is one of your most sonically diverse albums, which it takes like this formula of the bleak, pretty dense black metal you guys already had presented in your previous albums, but it also incorporates some more progressive stuff, some more melodic passages. Could you talk a bit about this evolution you guys had?
Yeah, the thing is that when Mork started, it has always functioned as a one-man band. I create everything, I record everything, and that's still to this day. Uh, when I decided to make the debut album back about 10, 11 years back, soon to be 12 years back, I suppose, I wanted to really, worship the primitive necro black metal vibe. And that is what it was. And I did a couple of albums like that, and when I got signed to a big label, Peaceville came along, and more albums, and then at the point I realized that this is not just a side project anymore. It's not just something I'm doing because I enjoy primitive black metal. This has become my life's work, and then it's an important thing. And then I wanted to evolve, if you know what I mean. I don't want to hold back. I want to create openly and freely, free will and all that shit. And but at the same time, I didn't want to go from a primitive necro black metal album into what Syv is, if you know what I mean. So it has opened up a bit more and more and more over the album, the span of the album. So now you have like if you listen to the chronological order of the albums, you can hear more and more and more, and I think that's a good thing. If you're a new Mork fan or an old Mork fan, you can take that journey together with me in a way, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, for sure. Like we can really see Mork's sound opening
Yep.
in a way. In these last albums. And you talked about the primitive necro black metal and solo projects. Mork isn't your only solo project, as this year in March we saw the release of Udåd's self-titled album, which is really this more primitive, rawer, dirtier, drier black metal. Could you talk a little bit about that?
Yes. Now we come back to what the first album of Mork was, which was obviously the necro atmospheric primal thing, which I still really love. That is what really triggered my emotions and gave me this atmospheric environment when listening to, the old Bursum albums and the Dark Throne Necro stuff, the good old black metal stuff. And I still carry that around within me. But as I told you, Mork has become this own entity now, running its own lifespan. I don't want to all of a sudden break down what Mork has become to do primitive black metal. So then I was like, now I need to make actually a side project to Mork. A yin to my yang. So Udåd just happened over a span of a month's time from conception to a finished product. And it was something, it was created kind of in the same vein as the first Mork album, actually, because the first Mork album was like decided like this, almost like over the weekend, and then the next week or so went into recording and writing and finishing that album. The same happened here with the Udåd album, and I'm you know, it's maybe the wrong word to use in a black metal context, but I'm blessed that Peace will want to take it on, you know.
Yeah, so could we say that Udod has opened the doors for Mork to be even more experimental, going to even more different directions, like going more into these progressive ideas you had in Civ, some more melodic stuff?
Um, yes and no, because I am always shouting loud about I don't give a fuck about this and that. I don't care about rules. I don't care about expectations. Fuck the true, all that stuff. I always shout about this stuff, but at the same time, there has to be some perimeters. You know, I don't want Mork to just blow to the side and become something completely different. That's not the point here. It's my point is that I want Mork to have its own voice. When you listen to a Mork track, I want you to know that it's Mork, you know. And also when I'm creating it, I don't want to hold back, if you know what I mean. So hey, if you end up with a kind of a 70s progressive rock influence on a track, it will still sound like Mork, you know, because it's still my voice. It's my kind of riffing in a way. The package is still there, but it's a really, really rewarding, what can I say, process to create without boundaries like that. You know, that is something I really do enjoy these days.
Since you've mentioned that you've always screamed "fuck everything, fuck the true," do you feel that there's a true cult culture in black metal? Do you feel it's something good or bad for the scene as a whole?
I, if you ask me, it's I think elitism and gatekeeping is a bad thing. Obviously, I love the sound. You know, I'm hey, I did that sound myself. I love it, but I'm not running around and giving the middle finger to other bands who are experimenting. You know, or talking shit about bands who are trying something else, or talking shit about bands that are doing necro stuff but are having success with it, because I'm not a piece of shit like that. I'm people are allowed to live and breathe, and that goes for the music too, you know. It's important to not just create something because it's expected by a milieu or a scene, you know. Because plenty of people do that, you know. They try to fit in this fucking little box that is true or whatever. And I don't believe that stuff. I think that is more limitations than freedom, to be quite honest with you.
You also mentioned that if there were ever to be any 70s prog rock influences in Merc, that they would still sound like Merc. What
Mm.
would you say were the major influences for Civ, which is arguably a very different album from the rest of them?
Yeah, no, you know, the reason why I said 70s prog is that because after listening back to some of the tracks I did for Syv, I can actually hear the resemblance to like 70s stuff, but it's not inspired by it at all, because this is only things that come out of me when I'm doing it, you know, when I'm sitting here with my guitar. It's just stuff that comes, and I think that's just a result of me living life. I'm 40 now. I've been listening to a lot of music since I picked up the guitar at the age of 13, if you know what I mean. And you know, you have life itself. You have experiences and feelings and days, good days, bad days. I think it's subliminal. I think it's not a certain thought or anything. It's just something that's there, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. And let's move around to the lyrics. It talks a lot about some very bleak stuff. I think in the press release it said something about like scraping to the bottom of the barrel in humanity, something like that. What would you say are some of the themes you guys touched on? I say you guys, but it's a solo project. What would you say
Yeah,
are some
yeah,
of the
yeah.
themes you touched on?
Um, I suppose it's my own psyche, my own psyche, how it is, and how I can imagine it to be at certain, if you are pushed to a certain point, of breaking or whatever. And I have to look at the track list on the side here just to remind myself what tracks are on it. And I actually realized after the fact, when I started doing these interviews, that a theme that's reoccurring on the album is actually being it's age specific. It's like, yeah, tidens tann, that's like the tooth of time. And utbrent is about being burnt out. I think, yeah, maybe it's just mortality has taken a shot at me when I turned 40. I don't know.
So keeping with this train of thought, the thought of age and getting older, Murk has been around for 20 years now. How would you say not only your sound, but everything related to the project has evolved in these years where it's been around?
Yeah, I suppose I have evolved. I went from 20 to 40. Something happens in that time span. I got some beard and I got rid of the raven black hair and gained some pounds. I'm just joking. I don't know. I suppose, as I told you earlier, it has become clear to me that this is my life's project, my life's work, and it's then I put more effort into it, I suppose. And we became a live band about 10 years back, and that has been an insane journey that I'm still enjoying to this day. And that was like kind of a gift, um, on the side of the gift of discovering black metal in itself, and the way of mental being, I suppose, that we are able to travel the world and see all those places. We went to Brazil, we went over to you guys, we went to Asia, we've been all over the place, and that's because of my stupid music and my stupid brain and my heart. And that's a mind fuck for me.
Having played all over the world, as you said, and having been part of the black metal sphere for a while now, how would you say the black metal as a whole has evolved in these past years? And how would you what would you say are the differences between like each scene in each country?
Oh, I can't really tell you how the difference are, but since I started Mork, which was 20 years back, as you said, then social media was already there. I remember the very first Mork thing on the internet was actually MySpace, if you can remember that. That's some years back, and so we already were into this stuff, but I think the social media has just exploded the last, I think 15, 10 years, and so has the bands. There's so many bands and one-man projects and artists, and it's it's a lot of music to swallow if you are out there looking for stuff. And I suppose quality is something that will prevail, I suppose. The good stuff usually is remembered, I suppose. I'm not sure, but you can be lucky, I suppose. But regarding scenes from country to country, I suppose uh, one thing I have recognized is that black metal is global, you know. I met people in Turkey and in Asia and in Canada and in Colombia who are wearing Bursum t-shirts. It's like it doesn't have to be. It feels like it has to be this Norwegian exclusive thing, for Norwegians. But you know, when music is so goddamn atmospheric and true, then I suppose it can hit a lot of people, if you know what I mean. It doesn't matter where you come from, because you are, at the end of the day, everyone is human, and the human emotion is what is being, poked with this music. And I'm just blabbering on, man. You need to stop me.
Nah, man, go on, go off, go off.
Oh.
At least to me, it seems that black metal is one of the friendlier genres for like solo projects, and you've had a few of them over the years. Mork is one that's grown, and it's way more than just a one man band now. It's incredible, something huge. What is it like to have a solo project in black metal?
To me, it's perfect, and that's what I talked about with the gratitude too. I'm so grateful that I actually found black metal back when I did. And I grew up in a town here without any black metal at all. No black metal scene, no black metal fans. I didn't know anybody into that stuff. So I kind of just found that stuff on my own in a way and started to exercise it. I began recording Mork demos in 2004, that's 20 years back now. And it was like, it has become my own journey in a way. And I'm an only child. I don't work too good with other people and stuff. So it's a gift that I've been able to find this. And I hope people out there who are in the same situation as me, being a weirdo, being an only child, finding this kind of release. It's only positive, even though it's black.
Moving on to some more black stuff. You said that for the video for Home Gang, you try to like harken back to the brutality of old days with because back then the only way to solve problems was like fights to the death. Could you talk about that? Could you talk about the video?
Yeah, the video I had basically nothing to do with, but we at Peaceville we have a partner called Matthew Wickerstaff, which is a great video director. He makes a lot of lyric videos and concept videos and stuff, and he's been doing that for us now for years. And I trust the guy. If I don't have any specific ideas of my own, I just let him roll with it. And he always nails it. And I think he actually said so that with the Horn Gang video, he actually went a bit deeper this time into the history of the Norse Horngang concept and stuff, and learned a lot about it. He used a lot of the runes and the Viking themes, which is really fitting for that kind of thing. And really happy with it, actually. And regarding the concept in itself, Holmgang, I just liked the concept. I thought, that's a cool thing to write about. It's simple and straight to the point, and the same goes for the music for the track. It's really simple, but it's also really pompous, and it has some traditional elements, which I think works kind of well.
Yeah, yeah. And what about the cover for the album? Does it like mean something? What's the story behind it?
That's a bit more for each person to decide for themselves while looking at it. Um, I decided upon the title, which I thought was a tasteful word. First and foremost, I thought I liked I'm the kind of guy who likes the aesthetics of words and sentences and the taste of them. That's, I suppose, a crazy artist thing, but that's just how it is for me. When I'm writing lyrics too. one sentence may seem a bit odd, and then I just rewrite it a little bit in the wording, and then it looks aesthetically better now, that kind of thing. And I wanted the I wanted the album to have the title as its own logo. That was decided, and I got my friend David Thierry from France, who has done plenty of covers for me, do the logo, which was fucking excellent. And my graphic designer, actually, I have a guy, Oskar Mikkelsson. He has also played drums for Mork, actually, but that's a different story. He puts together the layouts for the albums for me, and I told him, hey, just take a photo of a tree line, make a silhouette kind of thing, and put in the background of the Mork logo and the Syv logo, and he was like, that's a bit too simple, he said. I was like, okay, you have any other suggestions? And he was like, yeah, I know this artist, this painter in Norway. I can ask him. And I was like, fuck, that will probably be insanely expensive, etc. But at the end of the day, the guy liked the concept and he liked the idea, so he contributed. And that's Kjell Åge Mæland. He's a great painter. You can also see he's painting on the latest Toulouse album, actually, if you check that out. And this is the first Mork album with a bit of color, I suppose, not only the black and white drawing. And I think that goes a bit hand in hand with the progression of the music and the soundscape. Just try something else, and I think the cover is striking. I'm really happy with it.
Yeah, it looks great. And in terms of touring, Murk has been pretty active lately. You guys played the release show, and now you're scheduled to play at the California Death Fest later this year. A few dates. I don't know if it's a few dates or only one date in Turkey, and you'll be on board of the Metal Cruise next year. What can fans expect to see from y'all live?
Oh, we want to play wherever, basically. After we have been touring Asia and, visiting India and Taiwan, and we went to Brazil, and we have been in, South America around and North America. I have gained this wanderlust, man. I just want to go play on the North Pole, and I want to play everywhere, basically. So, we are kind of exclusive, though. There's not a lot of gigs in the books, but hopefully they will come along, along the way. And if anyone listens to this, want to just reach out and book a show or a festival or whatever, just make contact with us and we can see what can be done.
Controversial question, but really quick, what place do you think has had the best fans, just in
Oh,
general? Just throwing out there.
that's a bit hard to answer because we have experienced a lot of good places and a lot of bad places. Best place. Huh. I remember India was crazy when we played there. That was great. Um, we played the Maryland Death Fest earlier this year, and that was also a blast. It was a great spot. We played the midnight spot at a venue called the Ram's Head at in Baltimore there, and that was an insane, great evening for us. We are looking forward to visiting San Francisco and Oakland now in just a couple of weeks from now. Then's the California Death Fest. So America is always fun. But then again, I played in front of maybe 100 people in Nepal last year. And some of them didn't even know about the band, I suppose. But it doesn't really matter because I saw it in their faces and in their eyes that they experienced something. And that to me is what's rewarding when my music can actually go beyond borders like that, if you know what I mean. So a small shabby show at a little shack in southern Brazil with 50 people can be a great evening just because the response, you know what I mean? I remember we played we played a 3-week tour in southern Brazil last year, and I don't remember all the cities, but we played. Is it was it Santa Maria or something? Is that the city?
Santa Maria, yes, the Garganta do
Yeah,
Diabo festival.
yeah. We played a club called the Gargoyle or something.
Yes.
It's really small. It's smaller than your living room, and we played on the floor in the bar, but the room was fully packed, and the energy in there was insane. Even though the equipment was shit, everything was kind of not that, optimal for a concert, but we managed to achieve something in there, and that's what I love, because then you forget about the shitty floor you're standing on instead of a stage, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, and in contrast to the tiny shows you've played in like Nepal, southern Brazil, you guys also played
Mm.
Hellfest this year to
Yeah.
thousands and thousands of people. Super successful gig. How was it?
Oh man, I love the small shows, but the big shows has always been a bucket list thing, because we are performing artists. We like playing on stages, and then, as a kid, you dream about standing on big stages too. And that's that that's the same for me. I grew up watching AC/DC concerts and Iron Maiden concerts, Metallica concerts, and going to concerts and thinking, one day, man, one day. And then all of a sudden, my one man band thing stands on Wacken, plays in front of, I don't know, 6,000 people. A couple of years later, we stand on the Hellfest in front of 15,000 people. And that's, you know, it's huge. But it's really different too. A big show like that and a small show can't really be compared because it's a bit less personal on the big stage. I suppose everybody says that, but it's true too. There's a distance, but hey, it's great fun too.
Is there anything that's on your bucket list that you wanted to do, not necessarily with Merc, just in general in metal, that you still haven't done?
Huh, good question. I would like to do a proper European tour. We had never been on a European tour. We had only played one of shows. I would like to tour North America. Um, I would love to tour Australia, and I suppose my goal is to keep going until I can't. As long as there's a label who wants my shit, I will, and as long as I have inspiration left. So obviously, I just want to keep on going, because this is my this is my pressure relief, if if that makes sense.
Yeah, and Civ, your latest album, has been incredibly well released in this week or so that it's out, with publications like Metal Injection calling it one of the standout black metal releases of the year. How have you been seeing all this great reception you've been receiving?
um I've been relieved for sure, because when I deliver an album, and when I've been delivering albums that's been experimental like this, you never know how you will hit people. If I delivered a standard, simple, primitive black metal album, then you have a niche that you will satisfy. But when you do something that I'm doing now, then you are always standing on the brim of, you know, either scaring away the old fans and gaining new fans, or missing entirely and losing both. And so when a 9 out of 10 review comes in from whoever, that's a little bit of a pat on the back. Means a lot, but what means the most is when the fans, or the listeners, sorry, gives me a feedback that is positive, then I know it's okay.
2024 has also been an insanely active year for black metal with legends such as like Trelldom, Dark Throne, Ishan, Rotting Christ, all releasing incredible albums.
Yeah.
So in your opinion, excluding the two that you worked on, what would be like your top five black metal releases of this year?
I couldn't answer that. Sorry. I don't know. I don't know what came out this year or last year. I have no idea. I'm living inside my bubble. I only know that I see the names here and there, and oh, they are active, they are doing this and that. And no, I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you. But what I can say is that it's really cool to see all these bands out and about. They are all over the world on festival posters and tours. Black metal is here to stay, you know, and that's a good thing. And the black metal has also become way more than the true stuff. There's plenty of experimental black metal, different ways of doing this, which hits different kinds of atmospheres and stuff. And I think that's good. There's something for everybody, I suppose. And let's hope it continues like that.
So let's zoom out a little more. What would you say are your favorite black metal releases of all time?
Of all time, and it has to be a
Yes.
black metal.
Uh, the,
Uh,
let's just throw your favorite albums of all time.
no,
I
let's
get it.
just keep it black metal. It's easier.
Okay. Okay.
The best black metal album. Hmm. That has to be, I suppose, Hvis lyset tar oss with Bursum, I suppose. Because, I really want to say Philosophem, but Philosophem has got one thing that the earlier ones didn't have. So I need to go in between them. And I suppose that's that album.
Nice, nice. Classic. And what would you say the future holds for Merc? Merc, what's next? What can we expect going on this near future?
Yeah, the future for Mork. Let's see. I suppose more concerts, hopefully. I'm already writing for the next album. I had a extremely creative year now, which has been a relief because the year before was a bit more thin in that regard. I had a kind of a writer's block, but now it's just open up. So I got a lot of cool ideas. I think are cool though. What others think, I don't know. But I think you're not rid of us yet. I'm still around for a bit more.
Now, before we end off, it's way less of a serious question. I just remember seeing this vlog of some festival, maybe Inferno this year, where someone said you had the best hair in the festival. So could you just quickly share your hair routine with us?
Yeah, sure. I wash it maybe once a week, and I brush it, and that's it. No real secrets there.
It's the Norwegian water. It's the glacier water.
Yeah, I suppose so. And I just hit 40 now, and I have some grays here and there, but it's still young, still young looking here. Let's see how long I can keep it. If we do this again for the next album, let's see if I have gained any more gray hairs.
And to end off here, do you have any final message, any words you'd like to share with the Metal Rules audience?
Thank you so fucking much for the attention, first and foremost. If you have bared to sit through the whole interview here, then I appreciate it. Then you are obviously a bit curious about what this is about and who this stupid guy is. And I'm just a human being that's happened to make music, and it's really important to me. And if you like it, that's cool. If you don't, that's cool too. I will keep it up, and so should you. Hopefully, we will see each other at a concert somewhere. That would be awesome. I suppose it is American publication.
Yes,
This,
yes.
yeah. Hopefully, we can return to the US really soon. We had we had a visa, a Norwegian needs a working visa coming over there to play a concert. And we had a 6 month visa, and we play 2 shows in 6 months. That's not enough, So next time around, I want to tour, I want to tour in the US. So hopefully next year or within a couple of years. That's my hope.
So yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for your time, man. Thank you for watching. If you guys that are watching still haven't checked out Civ, if you guys haven't checked out any Mork, if you haven't read my review, go do all of that. It's incredible. Mork is definitely one of the best black metal bands to exist in these last 10, 15 years. Go check it out. It's incredible. Thank you for watching.
Too much, man, but thank you.